This is the 2012 Nissan Juke SV all-wheel drive edition. It features an inline 4-cylinder motor that's turbocharged. It develops 188 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. And I'll give you a quick pan around of the car here. As you can tell, it's running, so you can kind of get an idea of the noise level. It's a pretty quiet car. It's a little compact SUV. That's what I like to call them. And let's go ahead and check out the rear storage here. So, not too bad a storage capacity, really. I mean, it's actually got more standard storage than like the Kia Soul, for example. This one also does feature the upgraded sound system, which also comes with the navigation system, and it features the Rockford Fosgate 8-inch subwoofer. So, kind of adds some nice little bump to your car. And here's a quick little pan in of the car. Not a whole lot of leg room in the back seats. Again, it is a subcompact design, so rear leg room is going to come at a cost there. Let's go inside and we'll check it out. So this is kind of a cool looking little car from the inside in out. I know it's kind of quirky for some people, but I think that's why it appeals to other people. Nissan's done a really good job of making this car seem well-rounded, and I say that with a pun because it also obviously has the rounded fenders. It also keeps those rounded cues inside the dash, as you can see, pan around here. Even the rounded bevels here on the door panel kind of all keep that rounded theme, and so I guess Juke is kind of a cool name for this car. It looks a little jukey. I'm not sure what that means, but anyway. So this is the onboard climate control, which is right there. And as you can tell, as I just had it in, it also does let you change the drive mode. So there's 3 different modes to this car. There's the normal right there, and that has all the normal shift points, normal timing on the engine and everything else, and of course my personal favorite, the old sport mode here, and that instantly stiffens up the steering. You can feel it instantly as soon as you hit that. It also does show you the amount of turbo boost going into the motor, and it also helps hold the gears longer on the CVT transmission. CVT, of course, constant variable transmission, so it doesn't have the hard shift points as you might be used to in a traditional transmission. However, I think Nissan has done a pretty good job refining the CVT to the point where it still kind of feels sporty. Still not my personal favorite, but I understand from an economic standpoint and fuel economy, that's why they have adopted so widely CVTs in their lineup. There is one thing that I would like to point out on this climate system that's kind of a personal frustration for me personally, is that every time I start the car, it resets back to auto at 75, and it also takes a few moments for the air to come on after you hit this button. I wish it would just keep the air, or whatever way you had going from before turning the car off, the same way that I had it before I turned it off. But no, it does a hard reset every time you turn off the car, so you got to go back in and adjust it the way you had it. So a little minor I guess nitpicking on that one. This one also does feature, as I pointed out earlier, the onboard navigation system, so you got that included. It is updated off this little SD card that pops out, and that has the maps on it, and of course you have to use cards from the dealer. I wish it was a little bit more technologically up to date, in the sense that it would use live feeds from maybe Google Maps instead of having to get the SD cards. But you know, all that said, it still works well. I've used this navigation system in a number of Nissan cars now. I haven't had any real issues with it. So of course there is CD playback, which I don't have inside right now, and it supports CD audio, MP3 encoded CDs, as well as WMA. There's the auxiliary, and that will let you play through the auxiliary input here from your favorite music device or cell phone, if you will. And it also, as you can see, does feature a USB port as well. DC power is over there, and then of course it has the XM satellite radio, which I was playing earlier. And overall, it's not a bad sound system. I wish it had a lot more balance between the mid-range and the highs. It seems like the bass can get kind of boomy, the highs are real tinny, if you will, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of soul or I guess warmth in the mid-range frequencies. So hopefully Nissan can do a better job of that in the future. Having said that, I have been driving this car for about a week now, and I can tell you it's a fun little car to drive. I think it's appropriately priced. You can get these starting around the 20,000 mark or so, and of course they go up to about 23, 24,000 depending if you get how you get it configured. So I did not have a chance to test the all-wheel drive mode in any kind of adverse weather, really, except for torrential rain that we had here in the Seattle area. And as you can see, this car does let you switch between 2- and 4-wheel drive mode. I've been keeping it in the 2-wheel drive mode to conserve fuel, and you know, of course, disable traction control right there. Pretty straightforward inside. I think Nissan, once again, has done a good job with the interior design. I like the two-tone trim, the gray and the black. And there's a quick view from the driver's seat looking back towards the rear passenger area. As you may have noticed, there is rear tinted windows on the of course, both sides and the passenger area, as well as the rear window. This SV edition also features a sunroof, which we don't really get a chance to use much here in Seattle, and of course it has the integrated light switches right there for the map lights. So anyway, if you're all in the market for a compact SUV, I'd definitely recommend getting out and test driving this one. I think you'll probably be pleased with the way it handles. It is kind of a little bit of a harsh ride over bumps, I did notice. I think some of that has to do with maybe the shorter wheelbase, and hopefully Nissan can put a little bit softer suspension, or maybe have it be part of the drive mode in the future. If you go to normal, maybe it would soften that up, and sport could change the suspension a little bit. The EPA rates this car at 25 miles a gallon around town, 30 on the freeway, and that is in all-wheel drive mode, so overall not bad. I think it's actually pretty good, all things considered. There is one other feature that I forgot to point out on the stereo system that it does not support, and it does not support Bluetooth audio. So again, I think it's an oversight on maybe Nissan's part. They should have had that. There are competitive cars in this price range, and it's certainly in this class that do feature that. But once again, overall, a fun little vehicle. Get out and test drive today if you're in the market for this kind of a car, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks, guys.